it's always aligned in the north-south direction. When a magnet is suspended on the earth, it aligns in the north-south direction. Sorry. So let's look at, I want to share the link. So before I talk about magnetic field, let's look at magnetization and demagnetization quickly. Magnetization and demagnetization. So without wasting much time, magnetization is just a process of introducing magnetic properties into a material. You know, I told you that we can produce magnets artificially. So we have artificial magnets. We produce artificial magnets by magnetization. Magnetization. So magnetization is a process of introducing magnetism into a magnetic material. So this magnetization, remember we also said something, but let me produce it first. Magnet to produce your full name, Nitrukola Tugbewa. Your full name, Nitrukola Tugbewa. That's why girls don't give you numbers. Ọmọlọ́mọ ní jẹ́ kó sinmi, wàá máa flash it. Just for giving you number now, you're after my life. I will block you. So nobody should flash me, please. What they did is something that I'm supposed to send them out of the class. But I'm handling things with maturity. So don't abuse your opportunities. So number 2. So you have double stroke, also called divided touch. So we have divided touch or double stroke. So this is the metal. Then you have a magnet. You also have another magnet. So you will take these two magnets, you start at the center, then you skip just like this one, but now you are involving 2 of them. So it's not so hard. If you are starting with north here and south here, north here and south here, this part of the magnet will be north, this part will be south, where you are starting from. Then you continue to strike it in that direction. So this part will also be north, this part will be south. So that is called divided stroke. Is that taken? Please. Another way you can produce a magnet is by electrical method or solenoid. And that is the one that produces a better magnet and a stronger magnet. In solenoid, Solenoid is a coil of wire. I'm not going to even talk about the field for now. We will talk about magnetic field generally after this. So you have a coil of wire, and that coil of wire has a current. Let me make it a DC. Is it a DC or an AC? Should be AC. So that the field will keep changing. Now, when current start flowing, is it a DC or an AC? I think it should be a DC. Although it will be permanent. Let's make it a DC. So when current start flowing in this wire, this bar magnet, this is an iron, or let's just say a bar, an iron bar. It was not a magnet. And this is a wire that is carrying current, just a wire, and current is flowing in the wire. You now put this iron inside the bar. As the current continues to flow in the wire, this one will become magnetized. So we call it solenoid or electrical method. We call it electrical method. We are going to draw the fields and now we determine the field. If the current is flowing this way, you use your right hand rule. This side will be the north and this side will be the south. We will talk about that, so just hold on. So Thank you. So, once in a while, you need to hear this, and that's part of the reasons you are in Primax. Our motto says that intelligence and what? And character. You also have to learn. This guy will take time before it becomes magnetized. But after it gets its magnetism, it does not lose it easily. So everything in life too sometimes require time, especially the best things in life. The best things in life. Your education, a lot of you have been going through a lot because you are studying. It's not so easy, it's difficult, but you continue to take your time, you continue to learn. And at a stage when you learn it, it becomes part of you, and it will become part of you for life. But if you go for WAEC and wọ́n sáré kọ́ sójú board fún ẹ ò kàwé, it will show with time. Another thing is in terms of money, which is one of the problems we have with youth these days. Everybody wants to be rich all of a sudden. So if you talk about this and that, the only thing their brain is thinking about is money, money, money. And it becomes a problem. And that's why a whole lot of youth ventured into Yahoo when they don't really need that money at that moment. Sincerely, you don't need to. Your money will come, but you have to take your time to work, and things will work out for you. But you go into fraud. Go and look at a lot of people that went into the fraud. Where are they now? Some people have lost their life. Some people have turned madmen on the streets. And some people are losing whatever they own. So they just rush into it and they rush out of it. So take your time to do things in life. God will help you. So whatever it is, and I think to some of you that have issues too, because I think we had some issues last year too, based on some said you don't want their progress and all of those things. It's not magical. It's not magical. God wants everybody's progress. But as much as possible, you try to do your best with all honesty, without being corny, lying, or anything. It's better you say the truth and die there than lie and make things sound corny, all because of one or two things. But what I just want to bring out is, before Primax came to this level, it has been nurtured since I was like this, since I was young. So I never started Primax based on, we might be making money now, but we started based on so many levels of sacrifices. And it's a journey. It's a process. And it got to a level that it might be looking as if it's all bed of roses. It's a lie. I remember when I started with some tutorials then that were even paying me 15,000 per month. And I was staying in the hostel with those children. And I would be the one, I would teach them from morning till night. We were just two that used to teach them. And I would teach them from morning till night. And when all these students leave the hostel, I will go to their kitchen, I will do all their dishes, and I will go back to the classroom and abuse them. That you cannot eat and leave plates, but I will make sure I clean everywhere for them. And I will go to the toilet, all the tiles, all the walls, I will brush and wash and make sure that everything is clean. And they were just paying me 15,000 per month. And I was a graduate of a university. And they were paying me 15,000. But I kept on with all those things because I was doing it out of love. And at the end of the day, some parents will even come and see me where I was washing toilets and still talk to me. The journey had continued like that before God helped me out too. That okay. And it was during COVID, God started helping me. And it was just an opportunity for me too in life. But imagine all those processes, all those years of suffering, all those 9 years before admission, all those like 4 years with NYSC, I should not blame it on someone. So it is God preparing me for a journey. So all of you, you have not even spent 1 year, you have not spent 2 years on reading, on fighting so hard. You're already lamenting that you want to make millions of naira. You can be the youngest or the richest in the world at 16, at 15, it does not matter. God can help you quickly. But do it in an honest way. Whatever you do it in an honest way. And it's as simple as that. So don't rush into things because people are doing it. You too, you want to do it. You don't want to take your time. So don't rush into it. God will help. And these days, it's very easy for everybody to make it, especially you that you have talents. It's very easy to show your talents and you make it. Compared to those days that we never even had any instruments, nothing to work with. But we kept on fighting in all honesty. So God will help all of you. You know, I said something in the morning that a stage might come that you might be the one to sponsor the next generation of students. I might not be the one teaching by that time. I might not even be here. And you just look back that, oh, primers at a time, I want to do this. I have people that will just call me that they want to sponsor 10 students for JAM form. I have some of my friends that do that will just call me, or probably because of our relationships in the past. So if all of you do not make it here, is it going to be a positive for me or a negative? It's going to be negative. That's the sincere truth. But if you all make it, whether you remember Primax or you do not remember Primax, indirectly, it will still come. It might be my child one day. I have someone that attended this tutorial in Ife when I was working. And I was there when the man gave birth to his child. And at a stage, the man called me and said, Nika, after a very long time that we have talked, he got my number from another tutorial and he called me. I used to go and greet them once in a while, but he has misplaced my number and he called me. Nika, mo gbọ́ pé wà ń bá dán sí yìí. Báwo ni kinní kan, mo máa ń ríṣẹ́ ní online and everything. My daughter is coming to serve in Ibadan. Please help me provide every help you can provide to her, for her. And I called the girl. I did everything I should do, one way or the other. So that's how life is. So all of you might get to a place in the future now, and I'll just call you. You are living in the UK. Maybe my own son just wants to come to UK, and he might need 2 weeks to stay with you first for that period. And I'll say, please, my son will be coming. Let him just stay for 2 weeks. Then after 2 weeks, he will go and get his own accommodation. Will I now see all of this head tó ti dá fún gbogbo yín kẹ́ wá pé bí 200 ní UK kí má wá réyàn kan sọ fún pé ọmọ mi bọ̀? That's what impact is all about. I might not be the one to get the benefits of all of these things I'm doing. It might be my relative. It might even be someone that bears my surname and we are not even close. And you just meet the person one day and be like, oh, you are Akinwale? Akinwale from where? You now see that he's not even from Osun. Maybe it's from Oshogbo, maybe it's from Ijebu. I'm like, why no one Akinwale when I was writing JAM? And you start connecting. And the money, we are not related. But maybe because of our own relationship in the past, you start, there are some names, hear them today, I would think twice. Like a name like, name just, a name that made me cry one time when I wanted to gain admission. And that time I will look at that name, I was like, Adekileku. It's not a common name, so I might not really see such person's name again. So because it's not a common name. But that's life. Imagine I carrying such mentality now because someone made me cry and the person's surname is this. Then I'm meeting someone in the future that bears that surname. Even if I'm not going to do bad to that person, naturally, our spirits might not connect. Just that's what life is all about. So all you can dream about is try to be the best positive behavior you can be to everyone around you. Help them the best way you can help them. Let them grow the best way they can grow around you. All of you should win together, and that is what it is. So ìwọ náà tó jẹ́ pé gbogbo òwe ẹ̀ ló ń gbé pamọ́ sí wọ́n máa rántí sọ́ọ̀nì mẹ́. Ó máa tọ́ ní kó kọ́ àwọn tó kọ́ wọn, they will remember your surname. I'm not saying you should put people on your mind though, for any reason. God has designed some people to help you, and God has designed some people not to help you. Because if those ones help you at that moment, you might have a problem. So don't take anything against anybody for any reason. So whatever happens to you in life, fi ṣe ó sùn, kó fi rárá, and enjoy and move. Just learn to pick positivity out of every situation. So God will bless all of you. So sometimes you might need to see all of these things so that you understand that life is not so hard. Just focus on your goals. Take your time to achieve your goals, and you will see that there's nothing God cannot do in your life. So we might need to be reminding you, because you are here to learn characters and you are here to learn education. So please, so don't say my own is too much. I might talk a lot of times. Nobody is paying me per hour, so I can talk when I want to talk. I'll find a way to fix up my class. So, and what do you use to make permanent magnets when they ask you? You use steel. So steel is usually used to make permanent magnets. Permanent magnets has its application at different points. So permanent magnets has its application in different things, in different materials. We use permanent magnets in a transformer. We will talk about them later. We use it in some electric motors too, which we'll talk about later. Then for temporary magnets, so if permanent magnets are easily magnetized and not easily demagnetized, not easily magnetized and not easily, what do you think about temporary? Easily magnetized. You understand that? So they are going to be easily magnetized, and so the faster they gain the magnetism, the faster they lose it. So that is the thing. So an example of material used for temporary magnets is iron. So they are easily magnetized and they easily lose their magnetism. Is that taken? So for temporary magnets, we have something called electromagnets. Electromagnets. So when you have that thing I did the other time, a solenoid, you have a metal, just trying to make it big, and you have a wire wrapped around the metal. So when you have a wire that is wrapped around the metal, that combination is called an electromagnet. And this metal is usually iron. And you know, I told you the other time, current is flowing in a wire, the iron will become magnetized, Abi. But when you remove the currents, this is a switch. When you close the switch, current will start flowing. And as the current continues to flow, this iron will become a magnet. But when you open it, when you remove the currents, then it will lose that magnetism again. So electromagnet is such that you have a coil of wire around against a metal, and that metal can easily be magnetized and can also be easily what? Demagnetized. So when current start flowing, the metal becomes what? A magnet. The moment you remove the what's it called? The current, the metal becomes what? Demagnetized again. And you use that application in, so electromagnets has its applications. So it has application in one, electric bell. Have you gone to someone's house before and you press and it rang inside, and when you remove your hand it stops, and you keep pressing, it rings again? So when you press, it connects the wires together, then there will be a magnet, then that magnet will pull something, and that thing it pulls will hit the ring like a bell, then it will burn and it will ring in the house. The moment you remove again, it will disconnect, and when it disconnects, the bell will stop ringing. When you press again, so what is really happening? Let's draw a diagram for an electric bell. I think I have a picture that I saved on that so that I can explain it better too. Please, do we know the difference between permanent and temporary now? They can ask you question on that. So let me draw a picture of electric bell so that you understand the explanation. Okay. So there is a metal and there's a wire. This wire has a coil, just to shall make it faster. Then there's a battery, then there's a switch, then the wire continues, and there's a metal around there, and there's a gong, then there's around. If you have been following what I've been saying, what will happen to the metal? It becomes it becomes a magnet because current is now flowing. So I've closed the switch. Do you get that? And this thing, it's a complete circuit because there's contact. This is a wire joining this wire. So there's a contact everywhere. So current can keep flowing. But now, when this one becomes a magnet, there's a way we tell the magnetism, which is what I'll do next. When this becomes a magnet, let's say it is north here or it is south, however it shall now a magnet. And remember, this is a metal. So what do you think this magnet will do to this metal? It will attract it. And by the time it attracts it, this other down. Do you get that? So this thing will now hit this one by attraction. Automatically, this one will strike this one. Do you get that? So that is the sound. So this is like your bell now. Probably the gong. So by the time it hits it, then you now hear that sound. That is what is happening. But look at something. The moment this magnet attracts this one and it pulls it closer, what do you think will happen at this joint? The connection will lose, Abby. So at the moment you lose connection, it's like you cut. By the time you cut the wire, what happens to electricity? It goes off. Do you get that? So now, due to the attraction here, this one will disconnect. And by the time it disconnects, then the current will stop. And if current stop, what will happen to the metal again? It will lose its magnetism. And by the time it loses its magnetism, what will happen to this? It will go back. It was attracted because of the magnetic effect of this one. But by the time it loses its magnetism, then it will go back to its initial position. And that is what happened. So if you press again, by the time it goes back, it's connected. So when you press, it rings again. When it rings, this place disconnects. So that's why when you touch, even if your hand is still there, sometimes it can ring once and not ring again. Do you get that? So because it has disconnected, current is not flowing again. Then you remove your hand, you press again, then current flows again. And that's how you have your electric bell. So don't forget that. Then another application is magnetic relay. So they can ask you about the applications of electromagnets. Don't worry, we enjoy our time very well, especially on these aspects on Saturday, because I have a lot to explain. All the magnetic field and applications of the force on a current carrying conductor, how this generator works, Fleming's left-hand rule, right-hand rule. We'll talk about everything on Saturday. So magnetic relay also use this application of electromagnets. Magnetic relay is used to control a switch. You have a switch that can shock you because the appliance is heavy. And if you switch it yourself, you can be electrocuted. They now designed another switch. That switch is the one you will on. By the time you on that one, the one you switch on will on the one you cannot go there. And that one will start working. I'll quickly draw a diagram to show you what I'm saying. So then, aside magnetic relay, your telephone earpiece. Telephone earpiece also use that. For telephone earpiece, the moment someone calls you and say something, a sound, The sound that that person speaks at a particular frequency is carried by some electronics in the phone, and it is converted to electrical energy. So the sound energy you make is converted to electrical energy. But the person that would hear too on the other side must also hear sound, abi? So that electrical energy that is moving will go and produce magnetism that will make sure that the diaphragm of your own earpiece vibrates. So when it vibrates, the electrical energy that is moving will now be converted back to sound. That's what you will hear. So when the speaker speaks sound, the sound is converted to electrical energy that travels through all your data cable and everything. Then when it travels, then on the other side, it will be converted back to sound. So it's sound to electrical, then electrical back to sound. Let's draw the diagram. So it's 135. So this one, then don't forget your loudspeaker too. Your loudspeaker. Another thing is circuit breaker. Circuit breaker. So I'm going to draw all of the diagrams for you in the next class. But do you understand this one? It's the same application for everything. It's the same thing. You just have the electromagnets attracting a metal, then doing the job for you. But we explain it very well in the next class. So don't forget, if there is a sudden surge in the house, every building used to have what we call circuit breaker. So if there is a sudden overflow of electric charge, this circuit breaker can help you to control it. At the end of the day, there will be a disconnection. It will switch off. And by the time it switches off, it switches off, then you're going to have disconnection and there will be no light again. So that same current that is coming in does not come in to destroy a lot of things in the house. And what makes this thing break is because of a magnet. So the magnet will pull the metal and make sure that there's just a disconnection. And that disconnection switch off every appliances for you. So there will be no problem in the house. So we'll draw the diagram for the four of them in the next class. And I will now talk about magnetic field proper for a straight wire, for a solenoid, for the heads, and so on. And we will now look at force on a current carrying conductor. Then after that, we'll look at all the applications. I'll move on to electromagnetism. So please, just keep following. We have not started work on magnetism. All these things are still things that we will need. We will not be joining everything together to form something that makes sense. So I'll see you. So don't forget, on the group, I'll pull a poll there so you choose your time.